Now, before I tell you, as to what it is we intend to talk about, I've got my panel already seated with me, and one of them intends to sing for one of the other panel. Now, Erastus Sasaridonko, good afternoon to you.
Afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so you're wearing white.
Yes.
And you want to sing a song for a lady who's in red.
Yeah, she's wearing a very beautiful red and lady in red.
I'm trying to Valentine, man.
Hey, na kaya fun too, man. But why sweet? Why sweet in every
Your friend's name?
Rich Love.
Okay, Rich Love Azuma is right here with us in the studios of Love 99.5 with her carpet hair. Rich Love, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Were you contemplating whether to respond or not to?
No, she did.
It took a while.
It was a non-verbal comment. I can't mention it on radio.
Erastus, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rich Love.
How are you?
How are you?
Good. You look good.
Yeah, thank you.
I like your white.
I like your red.
Thank you. I'm practicing for Valentine.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Who's your Valentine?
Oh, you would know.
Oh, it's me now?
No.
Oh. Well, you don't even want to look at my
That's no commitment issues.
All right, so let me also welcome into the Cities of Love 99.5 Electra from Gimpa. And I'm talking about Mr. Yayira Goka. He's right here with me. And I haven't seen him this year, so Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
And I pray and trust that all is well with you.
Yes.
Erastus was telling you about your story he heard on radio somewhere last year. He says he was touched, huh?
Yes. Very inspirational.
Very inspiring.
I think we should write a book about it.
Well,
get to chop some money. Get to chop some money from your story.
But what we want to say to you is, no matter where you find yourself, never give up. Okay?
Yes.
Never give up.
Yes.
Just work hard, be focused, and things will fall in place.
Yes.
All right. So we're here to talk about something relating to relationship issues. Now, how difficult is committing to a relationship? How difficult is it? Now, I remember when I called one of the panel, and I was asking. I was asking her as to what she makes of commitment, and then she was like, Charlie, she has issues with it. She'll be telling us why she has issues. But let me tell you, how difficult is committing to a relationship, and why do some people find it difficult to commit in relationships that they find themselves in, especially the love relationship? That's what we're talking about, the love relationship. Why do many people find it difficult to be committed? Now, what will you do if you realize that your partner is not committed to the relationship that you find yourself in with the two of you? What would you do if you realize that your partner is not really committed? Now, this is our conversation here on the diary, and commitment is something that is very important. So we don't have to toy with it, especially when you believe sincerely in your heart of hearts that it's a relationship that you want to see to the very end. It's something that you hold dear to yourself. Erastus, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Right. We'd love to hear his thoughts as well. I mean, he has some crazy thoughts to share with us here on The Diary. Don't go away. We'll be right back. This is Love 99.5 FM.
Oh, this gate. Hey, Mr. Techi, please come and help me open my gate. I beg you. What is wrong with this gate? This is the second time I've changed this gate after the thieves broke into my shop 2 months ago. When I open it, it always gets stuck in the middle here. I don't know why. I'm even tired of it.
Paco, I've always been telling you, never compromise on quality. You see, I've been using my roller shutter gate for the past 10 years, and I have never had any problems with it because I got it from Donima Steel Complex. Donima Steel Complex provides quality roller shutter gates at affordable prices. They are of high quality and impossible to break in. That's not all. They have the manual and automatic gate systems, which are ideal for warehouses, domestic stores, and garages. And they are installed by professionals without any extra charges.
Had I known.
Had I known, yeah. Locate Donima Steel Complex at Asafo, YF Junction, near the Ghana Revenue Authority office, or call 0244 126 625. Donima Steel Complex, home of tropical products.
The great thing about life is that we are all different, and we are free to enjoy life's different flavors everywhere. Under the blazing sun or during a fun night out with the crew, it doesn't matter, because at that moment, all you need to do is reach for a Club Mineral to turn up the sweet, bitter, bubbly, spicy, or tangy flavor. Whether Club Orange, Club Cola, Club Muscatella, Club Soda, or Club Tonic, there's a flavor for everyone. Turn up the flavor. Club Minerals, there's a flavor for everyone.
For the past 12 years, New Generation Investment Services Limited, a leading investment banking firm, has guided thousands of institutions and retail investors to make millions in secure portfolio investments. New Generation Investment Services Limited is licensed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and the National Pension Regulatory Authority. We offer Treasury Bill Plus fixtures for our products such as fixed deposits, premium investments, NGI's Child Care Investment, and Diamond Plus investment plans, as well as manages Tier 2 and Tier 3 pension funds. NGI's Limited also manages the Enidaso Mutual Fund. Talk to our seasoned investment advisors now and we will structure an investment portfolio for you. Visit us at first floor Kokobo Jubilee House, Adum Kumasi, and second floor Abosoma Kotre House near Cocoa House, Sunyani, or our website www.ngis-group.com. Call us in Kumasi on 03220-91608 or in Sunyani on 0352-197-482. New Generation Investment Services Limited, achieving excellent returns on your investment.
All right, so like I said, we're back and this is Love 99.5. You know what? How difficult is committing to a relationship? Is the question I'm asking. How difficult is it? And why do some people find it difficult to commit to one? What will you do if you realize that your partner is not committed to the relationship you find yourself in with him or with her? Like I said, I have Erastus with me. I have Mr. Yaira Goka with me. I have Richlav Azuma with me. Now, for the purposes of this very conversation, Yaira, let me ask you this first question. When we talk of commitment, especially in a relationship, what comes to mind? What does it entail?
Being faithful, being loyal, being dedicated to that one person, no matter the situation.
No matter the situation. Erastus, you agree?
I think it's a personal decision to stick to something no matter what.
And in sticking to that person or that thing, what do you really do?
And when I say no matter what, underlined, it means there will be, it's not with the absence of challenges. And the challenges come in grades, big ones. So you prepare and condition your mind that I am going to stick to this no matter what. That's commitment.
Many people find it difficult, to commit to relationships they find themselves in. You know why?
Yeah, of course, many reasons. Many reasons. Myself, I wasn't committed to any relationship until recently.
Okay.
It takes a lot for a man to say, yes, I'm committed to this one, I'm going to make it work. And you see, once you're committed to it, you assign yourself responsibilities. And then you condition your mind that I'm going to make this work. And so as and when the problems come in, you still tell yourself, no, I have told myself I'm going to make this work. So instead of doing this, I'm going to do that. And so many women, I hear them cry a lot and say, I was in this relationship with him. I devoted my all to him. And look at how he treated me. Well, sometimes I find it interesting because when you get to a guy proposes to you and he won't take you far. The decision is right there and then. They won't tell you. And in fact, many men will not tell you. They will just give you the signs. But they've decided at the back of their minds that they are not going to go far with this. They are not committed to this relationship for so many reasons. Sometimes it comes abruptly. They meet you for the first time and the physique and everything is not there. Per what they have in mind. And so for some reason they decide to go in for sex. And after the sex, they know at the back of their mind that this is not somebody I want to take anywhere. It's there. Some of them, the physique and everything attracts them. So they want to move a step further. And then they want to look out for other things. And so they study you for a while. And then maybe a year, some 6 months, some could even be 1 week or 1 month. Then they get to know that, that's not what I signed for. The lady has this flaws, that flaws. I can't manage this. It's way above what I can contain. So I'm not taking this anywhere. So deep down, they decide right there and then that they are not going to marry you. There's no plan of marriage. There's no future. They're just with you.
But people are married and still are not committed.
Well, then they have other reasons why they got married to you. And I tell you, there are men I have seen. And in fact, there are marriages that I have been part of, not as in I have been part of because the person is my friend and he has decided to get married, so I have to support him. But I knew way down that this guy there's no commitment to this relationship. He just got married because, one, the lady in question, it's a nurse somewhere in the U.S., has some money. She's prepared to foot the bill. She's living in the States and he's down here. He can get to do his
side issues.
His side issues. And so the moment they got married and the lady left, I can see him rolling around with other girls and stuff. It's like he never got married.
But in terms of commitment here, Erasmus, before I move to other panel members here, tell me, is it not possible for one to tell that my partner is not committed to this relationship?
There's so many. The signs are always there.
The signs are always there.
Yeah, but as to whether you
will notice or see them.
Will notice that. Sometimes we notice the signs, but we say that, well, let me still go with it. Let me still go with it.
Damn the consequences?
Yeah, damn the consequences. Let me still go with it.
Is that a smart thing to do?
It depends on what is going through your mind and why you still want to go ahead. In fact, sometimes it's love. Sometimes it's something else. These days, it's difficult to even identify what love is, because myself, I get confused sometimes. Sometimes it's sympathy. And you look at the person and you are like, you say, I've gone through with this girl. We've come this far. And telling her will break her down. I know who she is and all that. So why still not stick to it?
I mean, Rich, have you listened to what Erasmus said from the very beginning? I mean, in terms of his understanding of commitment and all, and the fact that some people I asked why, some people cannot really be committed to relationships, and he mentioned a few things. I mean, it could be selfishness, it could be lack of trust, and a couple of things go in there. From what you said as a lady, would you say it is good to have commitment, to give commitment to a relationship?
Thank you very much, David. Absolutely. The right thing to do as a human being is to at least commit to something in your life and hope that it turns out well. Yes, it is good. I would say by all standard it is good, but there's a difference between what is and what is supposed to be. What is supposed to be usually is the ideal thing that we can look forward to, we can envisage happening. But what is actually what really happens. Where there could be a contradiction between your feelings and your reality versus what is supposed to happen. So if both of them give the right thing, whatever definition they gave, they brought it to one thing, no matter what, irrespective of, you're holding on to something, allegiance, your loyalty to another person, your significant other, for the benefit of this conversation, no matter what happens. And that's not a very, very easy thing to do. Considering that this is not an object that you can, hold and manipulate and turn and place anytime you want. This is a human being with feelings, with emotions, with brains, who also have their own line of thinking. So you sticking or you being loyal to this particular person no matter what. It's not a very, very easy thing to do. It's like, how do I say it? Shooting an arrow blindly and hoping it gets to the target. No matter how you master it is, you'll still be a little bit anxious.
Let me ask you, do you have issues when it comes to commitment?
I used to. Maybe there are still a little bit traces, to be fair. But I used to be one big commitment phobia kind of person.
Why?
I think I grew up around people, the vicinity that I grew up in. I grew up as one curious child. I got more involved in people's lives quite early. So I saw people who were left, whose partner left them, and I saw the consequences of, the devastating consequences of they being left behind and stuff like that. So I told myself from a very early age, no, this is not the kind of life I wanted. This is not something that I would ever wish for myself. You see people being jilted, people being walked over, people being left behind, people being betrayed, and then the consequences that befalls them after wasn't really, really a very, very pleasant thing. And then it got to a time that my partner also died. So I was like, well, people you love, people you hold will leave you at some point in time. So what's the point in holding on to something? That fear engulfs you at a point in time. That the fear of possibly losing something you hold so dear to you. actually can also bring you down. So it just buttressed the point that I had growing up, that the things you hold dear, the things that mean so much to you, the thing that actually means like life to you could be taken away. So why even commit to something when that's a possibility of losing it in the first place? So there's a contradiction between reality and your feeling. It's not very until you are there, you would not really understand it, but it's not very
but to be in a relationship where you don't have commitment, I mean, either you lack it or you can't receive it and all. Will you be fulfilled, or will that relationship be fulfilling enough for you? Will you be happy in there?
No, but then I'm not speaking as me now, but as what I have observed and been through and experienced. No, but then you're weighing the options. Okay, so I'd rather be at a distance and feel a little bit unsafe than dive in and then get my head probably hit at the bottom at somewhere. What I'm trying to say is that when you're committed, it's like when we say somebody sweeps you off your feet. The person is in the right position to drop you. And when the person drops you, it's like a free fall. So it's like, you're going to play football and you wear that thing around your shin. What's it called? A shin guard. Yeah. So you're getting into the relationship, but you're wearing a heart guard, I should say. Yeah. So you're wearing this heart guard, preventing you, shielding you, trying to protect you. Trying to protect you, trying to put you in a safe place. But how safe can you be? So you're telling yourself, okay, so I'll rather lose at stage 1. That is, I'd rather not fully commit and feel a little bit afraid and anxious than fully commit and then get left, because I'm thinking that the impact at that point is going to be harder than my unsafe position right now. It's not really nice. It's not even the right thing to do, but circumstances can bring you to that point where you want to play really, really safe. And sometimes the things we prevent our heart from, the kind of pains we try to protect ourselves from, are the same things that prevent us from experiencing real love, true love, in all its entirety.
So what you're saying is that if you're not really committed to a relationship, you don't get all the things you mentioned, as you are landing, the true love and all that.
Yes, but relationship is about the risk. The risks make it all
exciting
nice,
and fun.
Fulfilling.
Has your perception changed about commitment to relationships now? I'm sorry to be personal, though.
Yes, we're getting there.
Yes, it doesn't sound convincing.
No, it is. I've actually come a long way. Not that in your subconscious you're not supposed to do this, but something within you just keeps you from being safe. It's like investing blindly. I'm going to put my money here. I know there's a possibility that I can lose everything, but if I don't lose, at the end of the day, the returns could be high.
But don't you think that in committing to a relationship, that's what's going to make your partner see your worth and say, okay, fine, I'm also going to commit wholeheartedly to him or to her? I mean,
actually, I think commitment is for you, first of all.
It is?
When you're fully committed to something, it shows. You may not necessarily see but you are in it. You try to solve it. Even if there's a problem and you're addressing it not so you could come out as the right person, but you're addressing it so that you could find a solution. No, even the way you resolve conflicts shows you're committed to this.
Yeah.
The way you handle issues, the way you invest, it all tells about how. So it's about you, first of all, before it even gets to the other person. This is what I'm thinking. For somebody in my position, this is what I'm thinking.
But you're right, to be in a relationship where commitment is absent, how does it affect your relationship? By the way, have you been in one before where your partner was not really committed, or you were not too committed? Have you been in such a relationship before? I know now you're married.
Well, I my previous relationship gave me enough reason not to be committed.
Okay.
So I was in that relationship that lasted for 6 years.
But you realize that the person was doing things that was making you feel uncomfortable in the relationship.
Well, I think
and therefore you were not committed. Why were you in there for 6 years?
both committed.
Okay.
But something happened along the line.
Okay.
So after that, I felt, if I was so committed to this, and this had to happen along the line, then what was the point getting committed again? So that was where man started misbehaving. But I can say that my recent relationship, which ended up in marriage, gave me enough reason to be committed. Of course, when my wife and I met again, she realized I wasn't the committed type.
Okay.
But one thing that I admire about her even today is that she gave me enough reason to love again, to get committed again. Because even though I was a bit stubborn when it comes to relationships, she was determined that she was going to change me. So the behavior of the other person, the other party, convinced me to be committed. So it's a two-way affair.
Her determination to make you committed to the relationship, didn't it come to you as she being possessive in a way?
No, she didn't make it so possessive.
Okay.
I felt she was just trying to help me. She was trying to help me get over that mindset that I had, and I think it worked.
But is it also okay to use your past in judging or moving into a new relationship? So, for example, you were with A, and you were committed to A in a relationship. A messed you up big time. You nearly maybe lost your life and all that. But you're going to another relationship with D. Need you, go into that new relationship with what A did to you, such that you don't commit fully to this person, even if the person is giving you or showing you all the signs that, hey, I am here for you, I'm committed to this relationship, I'll be there no matter what. But yes, still, you still have at the back of your mind what A did to you. So in this relationship with B, it's still influencing or affecting your behavior and your commitment level.
It's just not right to bring that past experience into your new relationship. It is not right.
But the experiences should teach us things as we enter into new realms of doing things, shouldn't it?
Good. It's not right to bring that experience here. The point is that the two people are not the same. If you had a previous treatment that was bad, it's not likely the same treatment is going to be meted out here. But we are human. It is said that forgive and forget. I don't believe in the forget part.
Okay.
And I say that so long as you have that memory, you can forgive, all right, it's fine. But you can never forget. So those experiences will come back at a point in time, and one way or the other they try to influence or affect what you do now, but you can just try to push them back.
So help me here. You, like you said, you were in a relationship where you had serious commitment to that relationship. Something happened and it took the commitments away. How was it like in that relationship where you know that the commitment you had or the level of commitment was low? How was the relationship like? What was keeping you going?
Well, let's say from the beginning it was high. At an equal point. But towards the end, so we can talk about towards the end when the commitment wasn't really there, perhaps because of distance and other stuff. How was it like? It was disappointing because you expected to have the same commitment that you invest in that relationship.
But was love still existing?
Yes. It was still there.
How can, how can there be love without commitment? I mean, what is it that you're having? Because when you love somebody, you want to give your all. You want to share. You want to do everything wholeheartedly. Here you are, you're saying that, well, the love was there. Well, commitment was not there. Help me understand
it. You mean the commitment from the other side?
You said.
My side, yes, the commitment was there. The love was still there.
Okay, so the commitment was absent from the other side?
Yes, towards the end.
From the other side?
Yes.
Okay, so you were still in that relationship.
Exactly.
You were in love.
Yes.
The commitment level was high.
Very high.
But the love from the commitment from the other side was not as you expected.
Exactly.
So how did that make you feel? Now I understand this. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel disappointed because I expected to have the same level of commitment from the other party. So that is when yours starts going down because you realize you are not having that same commitment from the other point. So yes, it discourages you and you are not encouraged to put in that same level of commitment anymore.
And the person didn't complain?
No.
How come? How so? Is it because the person didn't care about the relationship anymore, so whether you committed to it or not? Well,
yes, I think the person was getting attached to someone else because of the distance. Education and other stuff. Some of us were far away.
All right. Well, this is Love Nights Up on 5. You're listening to The Diary. It's a Monday afternoon, the 22nd of January 2018. Well, I've got my panel already seated. Erasmus looking very pensive. I don't know what's going on in his mind, but he's right here as a panel this afternoon on the show. Yaira Goka is also a lecturer at GIMPA. And I've got, okay, Rich Love Azumamba. She is the CEO of Rich Love Travel and Tour. For those of you who want to go and study abroad, any course at all you want to study, she's the right person to speak to. You want to study in Russia, China, you want to study in London, USA, Canada, you name the country and she'll get you sorted out, all right? So, and they're here. Our conversation this afternoon is on commitment. Are you in a relationship? Are you committed to that very relationship? How high is your level of commitment? Do you feel that your partner is also committed to that very relationship you find yourself in, or you think, well, your partner's commitment level is quite low? How is it like? How does it feel like to be in a relationship where you know that the commitment level is either low from your part to your partner, or is non-existent from your partner's point to you? How does it feel like? Erasmus, you've heard a couple of comments, made by
interesting ones,
Rich Love, and of course, Ira. Is there anything you want to touch on? Something you don't agree with?
Yeah. I think Rich Love was being real.
And Ira is not being real. Not being real.
I'm talking about Rich, but they're being real. I mean, the interesting comments there. Interesting comments there. But we've been talking about commitment, so. How do we interpret that? How do we define that?
Well, that was the first question I threw to you. And that's one thing you also came in with.
What's the commitment we're talking about? So if you're in a relationship, you're going to get married, and you don't seem to agree on some little things. Areas where you think you should compromise so things can go on. You are not willing to compromise. And so you stick to one point, you take an entrenched position, and say, this is how it's done, and this is how we're going to do it.
But that's how Rich Love said you talk
not
about
being
things.
Committed.
Rich Love said you talk about things.
But as to whether that lack of commitment, you can translate that into lack of commitment, and whether it amounts to you hesitating or taking a decision, a harsh decision to stay away, to maintain the what did you use? He said the heart guard, the heart guard to protect yourself from
the heartaches.
Yes, that is the difficult decision. And in fact, at what point do you say, no, this one is not working, the commitment level is down, and I don't think he's so committed to this, so I need to pull out?
Yeah. At
what point do you pull out? That, I think, is the most difficult part if you are yet to get married.
We'll talk about that part, but let me just throw this major question to you before we even get there. What are people looking for before they commit?
Interesting question, and very pertinent. In fact, I can talk about men. Let's
hear for the women out there.
Yeah.
Take notes
and,
of what he's about to say.
In answering that question, perhaps I should pose a question. What do men look for in a lady? There are so many ladies out there on the streets. You see them, beautiful ones indeed, and you see them every day. You yearn for them. You have about 3 or 4, 4 girls. Some men run 4 or 5 girls, but they tell you, I'm going to marry this one, this particular one.
Out of the 4?
Yes, out of the 4.
So what's wrong with the other 3?
What's wrong with the other 3? Perhaps even the one he's chosen, in terms of assessing physically and all that, that person is not as beautiful as the other ones, but he says, no, this is the one. And when you look at it, when that particular one controls him in so many ways, controls him advisedly. We look out for so many things. We look out for a woman who is matured in the mind.
Mature.
There are many women
and I'm happy.
Are grown, but they are not matured.
I'm happy you don't equate maturity to age.
I'm telling you, there are many women who are grown, but they are not matured. There are women who, when you tell them something, you tell them your problem and everything, they will listen to you. They won't say a word, and after you are done, you are expecting a good response, and they will go like, okay.
Too bad.
And you see,
okay. And
they are not giving you any practical solution or anything. They just don't have it. That is it. There are ladies who, in certain situations, you're expecting them to be proactive, you're expecting them to take a certain decision, and they just can't. They don't have any ideas. Such a lady, yes, he's a human being, all right, matured, grown, all right, but not matured in the mind. Somebody you can really trust and depend on in hard times to help you take concrete decisions. And so some men look out for that. There are men who also look out for whether you can keep a house.
Is it a one-way thing? Is it for the woman's
a home, sorry. So when you come to visit them, they are looking out for certain things. Are you that lady when you come and the place is dirty and all that, you just become part of the dirt and then afterwards you leave? There are some ladies, they will even wrap up their things and add it to the dirt and they sit there, cross their legs, and afterwards they leave. When you do that 2 or 3 times, the guy will take a decision.
And not be committed to the relationship.
Of course, because he might see you as that is who you are. They also look at other things. Interestingly, they look at whether you can cook. Some of them. Especially those who love food, homemade food and all that. So they test you 1 or 2 to find out whether you can cook.
You are the men who make people say that a way to a man's heart is through the stomach.
No, it's not through the stomach, but then I want to find out whether the lady can cook some home meals for me.
What if the
it's
man
important.
What if the man can also cook a home meal for the woman?
You asked me what men look out for.
I said men. I said what
I chose men
people.
Because I'm a man.
Okay.
Then the major one.
Okay.
The major one. A man will look for a lady, whether the lady has some respect for men.
So that you commit to the relationship because of saying, respects men or has respect.
Yes.
So maturity, the person knows how to keep a home, cooking, tidying and all.
They want to know whether in times of need you will not leave them. So aside the respecting, in fact the respect is very, very important. They want to, because we as men, whether we are poor, rich, tall, short, we want the ladies to give us our respect.
I need to do something.
Are you that type who will stamp your feet and become like
bossy,
some hideous monster in a relationship, and you won't give me my level of respect? Even when I take a decision, you are going to overrule it and do what you want. Are you that type who, because of your career, you think that the home belongs to you? You have masters, the guy has a diploma, and so you think you can run things in the house the way you want it.
But sincerely, Erastus,
sincerely.
Thank you. Does every man, you're saying that every man needs respect, but in terms of our behavior, in terms of the way we do things, do we necessarily ought to be giving the respect?
Well, I'm telling you that before a guy would demand respect, then he respects himself.
Rachel, you agree? I like your side.
Yeah, before a man,
Rachel, you agree?
A man who will be taking a decision based on the kind of respect you give him knows what respect means.
All right. No, but the question is,
you don't
Rachel,
demand respect; you earn it.
That's what he's saying. That the man who would expect that he
usually
would be respected.
it's not the same. Those are ideal situations. Every man demands respect. Every man would love to be respected.
Yes, every woman demands respect.
It's a human thing. It's a human thing, but you are saying ideally,
it is people. Despite a woman look down upon a woman, treat her poorly, badly, and all that, she'll tell you, she'll stomach it. She'll tell you, it's but you can't do the same to a man and expect a man to say.
Those are the few things that women swallow, but it eats them up.
True, kills
but
them.
a man will rather speak about it. Just like in a lot of issues, a man will just look at it and smile and go, and the woman will react and talk.
Myself, I don't like ladies who keep things in their
but
mind.
This,
and
no,
not
but
talk about
things like this, it
I want you
can
to talk,
really.
but there's a way of talking.
Yeah.
You talk respectfully.
Yeah.
If you want to articulate your point, I don't want you to keep things inside you.
So
I want a lady who will speak out, but speak out in a respectful manner.
So Erastus is saying that respect is key to most men before the men commit. Let me ask you the same question, Rishla. I'm generalizing it. I'm not going. If you want to go the way Erastus did, I don't have a problem. Question is, what do people look for before they commit to a relationship?
Okay. Due to my earlier experiences, I once had organized a support system for women who had commitment issues. Okay. And we had 27 women gathering. And then, yes, we spoke. And then some of the things that women are very, do I say coward? We are not brave like men. There's a reason women will not come out and propose to men. Because they are afraid. Hey, what if he says no? If you ask 9 out of 10 women why he wouldn't go and ask that crush out, you say, hey, what if he says no? I'll lose face.
But what about society? I mean, that's how
it's cultural to me. It's just cultural.
Yes, so it makes it look like you've lost face. So it's cowardly. We are not brave enough to get out there. But if we see a man is into us and he takes us as one of his or part of his, then it's easy for you to communicate no matter where you're coming from. Usually you look at somebody that will prioritize you. The person chose you out of a lot. The person should be able to exhibit that, to make that clear, that I chose you because not because I'm settling, but because I want you. We want to see the leader. And if you have I'm going to say one thing, and if you're a man and you have a problem with that statement, then rethink yourself as a man. You are a man. Your woman should be able to look at you and say, David, I am a woman. I am going to follow you. Better make sure that you lead right. And if you get scared by that, then there is a problem. Because you know she's right behind you. Don't take the wrong move. She's going to follow your steps. You will be scared or happy, depending on where you stand. If you know you have some skirmishes that some skeletons that you once in a while branch and do.
Could you have said it without using better do this?
You see? So you see, if you are doing the right thing,
it's not about doing the right thing. I'm not afraid of you, but use the right wording.
You're feeling threatened now.
No, I'm not feeling threatened, but use the right wording.
So what you guys are saying, you're making it seem and sound as if commitment to a relationship is difficult because expectations differ.
Definitely, expectations differ, and it's not a straight jacket thing. Yeah. There's no template for commitment. But the kind of commitment.
But I have my expectations. You have yours.
Yes.
Something that if I do, will make you be committed to me because there are qualities that you really look for and you're excited about. So once you see those qualities, you're good.
Sure. That is true, but then you know that people change.
Yeah.
So that's why commitment is a decision. You have decided, yes, I like this person. You can love somebody and not be committed to the person. It doesn't mean you are seeing other people. You are just playing safe. So you've decided that, yes, I want this person. I want him. And I am going to work around him no matter what. That is why sometimes you think that somebody is so, excuse my French, stupid, because they are with this man. Those guys sometimes misbehave. And it's not like they don't know. They know. They see the signs. They are aware. But they say, no, I'm going to stay around and make it work. It's a decision.
Yeah. Help me here. I have heard some people say that women are more committed in a relationship than men. You agree?
Yes, I agree. To a very large extent.
Wow.
When they have a reason to be committed.
Shakespeare says women love with the heart, but men with the mind. So women are more committed, let's be very honest. Much the same way when you ask which of the two parties is mostly or is more unfaithful, that will be another debate for another day.
It's still men, isn't it?
Well,
but it's still men. Men are more unfaithful than women.
But David, 1 minute, please. Sorry to cut you.
That's fine.
I think most times, from the support system group that we talked, most times you realize that people that are afraid of commitment are people that really love to the deepest. People that are, when they say this is it, they hold on. So because they hold on so much, it gets to them so bad when they are let down. Then they start building the walls around their hearts. Like Ira said, women love with their hearts. So usually, if you can just commit to anybody, anything, any day, and then you can easily walk out, or the impact is not that severe on you, then you are not afraid to commit. You give in your all any day. But people that really give their all, that really love to the core, most times are those that are afraid.
Let's
because they know what they are bringing to the table.
Let's try to separate love from commitment.
Commitment, yeah.
Of course, they're
the
separate,
two are not the same.
but they work hand in hand.
The two are not the same. I can commit to something without necessarily loving you.
Wow, that's strange. You can actually love something without committing to it.
I can
Even
love you all right.
Safe.
I can love you all right deep, but I can choose not to commit to you.
No, then you don't understand love.
Wow. That's
My mind
strange.
is telling me that if you love the person, and you really understand what love
Let
is.
me give you a scenario.
If you really understand, if the person really understands what love is, and you know what attributes it comes along with, you can really commit to the person. You cannot love without commitment.
Okay. So what happens when a woman who has caught her husband in bed with another lady like 2 times still decides to stay in a relationship? The love is gone. It's commitment due to...
The love is not gone.
The love is not gone.
Please. Commitment due to something else. Perhaps the children. It could be anything. So they are staying in there. They are saying, no, I want to stay in here. People will advise, why don't you leave the relationship? You said, no, I don't like this man. I still want to stay in the relationship.
We say women are more committed in relationships than men. Because the heart will be broken, but for a while. Women are forgiving. They will let go. So they can even, in that same marriage, afterwards sleep with the husband and continue the relationship. But men will handle it differently.
But that is commitment.
Yes.
You choose. You said no matter
what.
But in your own words.
Yeah, you were saying a while ago that you think that women are more committed in relationships than men are. Why do you think this is so?
Well, I think several factors account for that. No woman would be comfortable jumping from one relationship to another. So the issue of reputation, integrity, if you get, as a woman, if you get divorced or you leave one relationship for another, if you're a woman and one guy can say, oh, I've dealt with her before, or she was mine, now she's with, they have some reputation to protect. But guys, African guys, it's just, okay, there is nothing so big about leaving one relationship and ending up in another where people know that, oh, this guy just left this lady and is with another lady.
So
as
you think
a guy,
that
you don't feel
ladies
so
are protecting their image. Guys, well, don't have much to protect. They don't really, care much, and they do things.
That's one. Then also, as a lady, if you lose one, all you can do is to wait for somebody to come and propose love to you.
Okay, but those who hold back to commitment and yet are in relationships. Rachel, let me throw this one to you. Does it help? Because you're holding back for a purpose. You're holding back for a reason. Now, in holding back, does it really achieve the purpose or the reason for holding back?
Not at all. Because usually in holding back, you're holding back to be safe. In being your safe zone, you don't get to experience the love in all its entirety. I'm not sure if it was Yaira or Sari that Kofi that said mentioned them, but the thing is, when you hold back, oh, that was you. Don't forget that the person on the other hand also sees. So once you're holding back, the person is also afraid or scared to also step in with both legs. So it's like everybody is playing safe. You in your comfortable position are not giving your all. So you'll be creating some doubt. It could even be sending signals as if you're double dating or you're seeing somebody else or you've got an eye for somebody else. When in fact you don't. And when you start giving the other person those thoughts, then they also start withdrawing bit by bit. I passed this earlier on that the things that usually we are so much afraid of experiencing, like the things we use to protect ourselves from love, are the very same things that deprive us from experiencing love in its entirety. So it doesn't help one bit until you start accepting, discovering that to each his own, like everybody is different. Life happens, circumstances happen. The fact that it happened this way sometimes doesn't mean it's going to happen again. You've got to let your guard down sometime and then give something a try and trust the magic of new beginnings and stuff.
Yeah, tell me, for those who hold back and have concerns about commitment and can't commit, question is, do they expect their partner or partners to commit?
There may be several reasons why they are holding back.
Yes, I know. But what I'm asking is, so I'm in a relationship with, let's say, this sister.
Good.
And I'm holding back. It could be because of past experiences. I'm not committed to this relationship, and I enter a new one, and I'm applying a bit of brakes. I'm applying the brakes, hoping that I will not be hurt again. But in holding the brakes, in holding back, and committing fully to the relationship, am I expecting her to be fully committed to me in the relationship?
Yes, that expectation is most
Why
of the
isn't
time
that selfish
there.
on my part?
It's not. Probably that person is holding back because he or she wants to see some signs before he or she also gets, committed. So if those signs are not there, if you are not getting committed, then you are not giving me enough reasons to also commit anymore. Okay. So yes, it's expected that the other person will show that commitment.
But is that fair?
So that, well, it's not fair. Because you ask what will it take for someone to be committed, and I will answer by saying it takes the commitment of the other person for me to be committed. That's all.
Rachel, you said yes, they expect their partners to be fully committed to the relationship.
That's some motivation. That's already you're afraid. Not that you don't want to commit, but you're afraid. So when you see the person is fully involved, that gives you some assurance. Yeah. Okay, so this time around, maybe I've got to take this risk because this other person is there for me. So you're not afraid. You don't see any blinds. You don't see it. It's transparent. So you're like, okay, I'm in a comfortable lead. Let me give this a shot. So yes, you expect the other person to be committed. And that's what actually convinces and motivates you to be more committed.
Well, I have a few more questions. One out of those few is for those who have fears and cannot commit, but want to commit to the relationship they find themselves in right now. What should they begin to do so they're able to commit to it? I'm happy that both of you have gone through some past experiences where you were commitment phobia, and to a large extent you've been able to overcome it. Question is, for somebody who's listening to us right now, has found this amazing, wonderful guy or this great, loving girl and wants to be committed to the relationship, but for past experiences he or she is holding back, what are some of the things you ought to do that would enable you commit to the relationship? We'll be right back, and please don't go away. This is Love 99.5.
You are great, yes, you are.
The Word of God is a strong foundation, a rock that keeps us standing through the storms of life and exposes our innermost thoughts and desires. Join the International Central Gospel Church Trinity Temple, Kwadaso, every Sunday from 8 to 10:30 a.m. as we help you discover your purpose through life-transforming messages. Remember, the proof of a desire is in its pursuit. Don't miss our weekday services on Wednesdays and Fridays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Your life will never be the same.
Say you are great. You are great. Say you are great. You are great. Everything,
All right, so it's a Monday afternoon. It's the 22nd of January 2018. Once again, good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for your time with us here on Love 99.5. We're talking about commitment on the diary today. And the question is, how difficult is committing to a relationship? How difficult is it? Do you find yourself in a relationship as we speak? Are you committed to it, or you're not committed? Do you feel your partner is committed to the relationship, or you think your partner is not committed enough to the relationship? Is it difficult? Now, why do you think people find it difficult to commit to relationships? And what would you do if you realize that your partner is not committed to the relationship you find yourself in? All right? Commitment. Is it difficult or not? All right, so for somebody who is desiring to be committed, how does he or she begin?
David, you love yourself first. You discover who you are. So a lot of times we are looking for other people to love us and commit to us, when in fact we've not even identified how to love and commit to our own self. Pick up a job, learn a trade, or pick up a hobby and commit to it. You are practicing. Would you run away just because you've hit some bottom rock in some business or some other thing? Yeah. How you commit to your businesses, your relationship in the house will determine how you commit to this other person. And then know that, look, everybody has a tendency of hurting you. You just decide to say, okay, I can deal with the hurt from this person than the other person, because we don't live in an ideal world. People will hurt you. People will do things that will hurt you. So I don't want to use the word commit. So you decide, okay, so this person, okay, I'm going to be with him, even though I know that there's a tendency for him to hurt me. But, well, I'm willing to give it a shot. This is life. Life is about risk. And the more risk you take, even in investment, investment with higher risk also generates the highest returns. That is how it is. I mean, it's not like it's automatic. But, yes, give it a shot.
Okay, so at this point in time, let me try and read some comments on our live feed, okay? And later I'll go on to the comments on the post itself. Martin King says, well, that is true. In reference to, I'm sure, something that Erasmus said. And goes on to say, David, when we talk of commitment, please don't let Rich Love comment on it. I don't know why he's saying that. Can you fathom my response as to why?
I don't even know him. I have no idea. People carve their own story about who you are outside.
So women will always be women. Does she understand love at all? Well, I hear you. Shiftman, or say, from Atonsu, he writes and says, David, that thing we call love is something strange and crazy. It's crazy. Oh. I think that man must enter into relationships with some circumspection. I'm enjoying the discussion. Anyway, hi to Nana Ampoma. That's what he writes to us on. Well, at this point in time, let me also activate the phone lines on 03220-83596. Are you committed to the relationship? Why do you think people find it, naturally difficult to commit to relationships? I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So give us a call. Join us now on 03220-83596. Now, if you find out that your partner is not committed to the relationship you find yourself in, what will be your response or your reaction? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Dave.
Yes, this is Richard Opoku, Peace and Love Hospital.
Yes,
good afternoon,
yes,
sir.
Richard Opoku from Peace and Love Hospital. Let me say good afternoon to all staff of NHS inside CPC. You see, this being in a committed relationship means you are willing to be vulnerable. In essence, being vulnerable is about being open to someone wholly. So for some, this is an immense gamble to take, especially for people with fears about opening themselves out. These individuals, they prefer to keep a partner at bay, where it seems safe, than have someone invade in their personal space. So I think fear is the operative word when commitment issues come up. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you, Rich Opoku. Go on to the next caller here. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Desmond.
Desmond, welcome, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon to just go, Martin.
No, you're talking about Rich Love.
Yeah, Chitora. You see, when it comes to commitment, as I always say, you see, because of the past experience, as your panelists have been saying,
what is happening? I lost the gentleman on that very line. Sorry about that, Desmond. So sorry. Kalusha is on the line. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, David.
Welcome, boss. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon to Rich Love. It's a long time I hear her voice on radio. But regards to her. David, love and commitment, goes together. You can't love somebody and without committing to her. I don't see it happen. If somebody loves you and that person doesn't have commitment to you, there is no love. And if that person also commits himself to you and there's no love, there's no commitment. It goes, together.
I see.
You can't love somebody without commitment, and you can't commit yourself to somebody without loving that person. It's got to love.
I hear you. Thank you very much. Let me speak to Prince, who's on the lines right now. Prince, good afternoon.
Nice. Absolutely.
Let's hear you, Prince.
My question is, how do you know that the person loves you?
How do you know that the person loves you?
Yes, before you commit yourself to the person.
Wow. So Prince wants to know, how do you know if the person loves you? Sherry Daniels.
Yeah.
Now design.
Nyamiadum, sir.
Nyamiadum, to me about life. Me too.
As Kalusha said, love and commitment goes hand in hand. If you don't love something, how can you be committed to do what that person likes? For instance, you are committed to somebody or you love somebody, and that you are sitting there somewhere, the person came to propose, and you accepted, and now you are overdoing everything, and that person is just sitting there, relaxed, thinking that you are supposed to do everything. So if you see that, you let that person also know, say you also have something doing, and you sit here somewhere, and you go around and hit and come back.
But if there's love, why should you do you do me, I do you? Why we don't do that? Sir Patrick, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Let's hear you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Nanefwa.
Yes, darling.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm committed to you. I'm with you.
I know. Yes, commitment. Me, I think if you love someone, you definitely be committed to. Because you can't love something and at the same time feel like you are not committed. I know, sir, love, when you love someone, you want the person to be happy, the person to be okay all the time. You see a smile on the person's face, and you are also happy. So you can't hurt someone you don't love, and you won't be committed. Love goes hand in hand with commitment.
I hear you. That was Nanefwa there. Let's speak to Michael. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, Michael. Let's hear you.
Oh, okay. I really believe that love and commitment in a way go. But then when it comes to genuine relationship that would be geared towards marriage, it goes beyond the affection you have for someone, and that is love in that context. So you can't really love someone if you don't commit to the person. However, someone may, in a way, decide to, pretend. The person will commit and prove himself or herself beyond any reasonable doubt. But then the person wouldn't be loved. So it's up to us to, analyze and assess whoever comes around. Thank you very much.
Well, I hear you, Michael. Thank you very much for your time. So I was asking, that question, and Rishlav gave a response. Let me take your response, and it has to do with people who have issues in terms of commitment in a relationship. How can they get it right?
You need to communicate to the other person how you feel. So something like, I love you, all right, but I'm scared of getting committed to you.
Okay.
I believe that when you let the other person know what is making it difficult to get committed, yes, he will do what he's supposed to do, she will do what she's supposed to do.
That is, if
to encourage you.
Yes, the relationship and loves you too.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, you need to let them know so that they also... Dave, the point is we always get the best results when we are committed to that enterprise.
Okay.
Getting committed to a relationship is a very difficult thing, but it is worth it.
Rachel Afazumayimba, thank you very much for your time. Of course, to you, Yaya Goka, lecturer, Gempa, Kumasi campus, thank you very much for your time. Erastus Asaridonko, much respects to you as well. Delali is here, he's got sports. Delali, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, David.
Commitment, how difficult is it? Is it difficult to you?
It's not difficult if you want to be committed.